This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily. You in Indiana having a great time partying. We see all the clips. Why can't you just do your thing? Why can't you just do your thing?
Curious about the exact moment Angel Reese's high-profile marketing play went sideways? Here's what happened. Right in the middle of WNBA All-Star Weekend, Reese debuted her brand new shoe line. The city was blanketed in promotional material, banners, ads, and a strong push to dominate the spotlight in Indianapolis. Then, everything changed. Caitlin Clark sustained an injury. Ticket prices for the weekend plummeted nearly 50%. Suddenly, Reese's carefully orchestrated rollout looked less like genius and more like unfortunate timing. The data made it clear. When Clark isn't in the lineup, fan interest declines sharply. Without her presence, Reese's bold marketing move lost its impact, coming off as misplaced instead of powerful. In this video, we're unpacking every uncomfortable twist from Reese's All-Star Weekend and examining why fans are now rethinking her decisions. Drop your opinions in the comments and be sure to hit subscribe. This story is far from over.
But can Sarah Spain and the media stop going out there and saying that like the Caitlin Clark needs to do something to stop all this, when it is very clear this is a one-sided beef? And the one-sided beef is not from Caitlin Clark.
Heading into All-Star Weekend, there was a real belief that women's basketball was finally about to break through into the mainstream sports spotlight. The anticipation, a high-stakes face-off between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in Indianapolis. Packed venues, electrified crowds, and ratings strong enough to grab the attention of even the biggest broadcasters. It all felt like the stars had aligned, like a scene straight out of a blockbuster film.
We do start our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that
But only days before the big event, the news broke. Caitlin Clark had suffered a groin injury, and things began to spiral. Fans had spent months preparing, booking travel to Indianapolis specifically to see Clark play in her home state. Hotels were full. Restaurants were bracing for the kind of business they hadn't seen since the city hosted March Madness. The promotional engine was already running at full speed. Corporate sponsors had made major investments, betting on the highly anticipated Clark-Reese clash to generate massive buzz. Nike had limited edition drops lined up. ESPN was billing it as a can't-miss event. Social platforms buzzed with countdowns, debates, and predictions over who would shine brightest.
The story we have been following throughout the past 2 days surrounds the superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the court.
Clark's home state advantage was supposed to be the perfect backdrop for her breakthrough performance. Indiana fans were ready to pack Gainbridge Fieldhouse and show the WNBA what real basketball devotion looks like. The narrative practically wrote itself, the local hero taking the spotlight at the league's biggest annual showcase. But once the injury news hit social media, things started unraveling fast. The ripple effect was instant. Suddenly, all those carefully crafted marketing plans started to feel shaky. The headline matchup the world had been waiting for disappeared overnight. And just like that, the buzz around the weekend started fading.
From the weekend,
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
This wasn't just any physical setback, and Caitlin Clark isn't just another athlete. She's the driving force behind a surge of new attention to the WNBA this season. From occasional sports watchers to those who had never tuned in before, Clark gave them a reason to care and watch. Her absence wasn't simply a missing player. It meant the league was without its biggest momentum builder. What was meant to be a celebration of growth for women's basketball quickly became a stark reminder of how delicate that momentum truly is. All the hype, the buildup, and the big-name sponsorships banking on history-making numbers, it all hinged on one player being fit to perform. And when she wasn't, it became uncomfortably obvious how much the league's rising popularity is tied to Clark's presence.
But when it comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people.
What should have been a proud showcase of how far women's basketball has come ended up revealing just how much work still lies ahead. While Caitlin Clark was genuinely recovering from injury and leaving thousands of hopeful fans let down, someone else saw the perfect chance to step into the spotlight.
Reebok, Angel Reese are taking shots at Caitlin Clark, using her as promo. Angel Reese, let's be clear here. Let's just be all the way clear here. Angel Reese is a solid basketball player. Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. Her podcast, the first 3 episodes, all the clips promoting was bringing up Caitlin Clark. It was bringing up Caitlin Clark in all of the promo. People wanted to know what she was going to say. She used Caitlin Clark as pro.
Picture this: launching your biggest branding campaign in the hometown of your top rival, while she's sidelined with an injury and can't even take the court. That's exactly what Angel Reese did during WNBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. She rolled out her signature Reebok sneakers with eye-catching ads, aggressive online marketing, and a tone that felt unmistakably confrontational. All this happening on Caitlin Clark's home turf. The timing? Impossible not to notice.
Angel Reese, I'm in your city. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Post it on Instagram. There's about 15 fans there and Reebok put up a board. You would expect Reebok to put up a board. Let's never forget that when let's never forget the gigantic Caitlin Clark Nike billboard in Chicago. Let's never forget that. So if Reebok didn't put up a board for Angel Reese,
the rollout timing was either highly questionable or brilliantly calculated, depending on your perspective. Reese's team put everything into making a major statement right in the heart of Indianapolis, fully aware it was Clark's home ground. But this campaign wasn't your standard shoe drop. It read more like a direct message, staking a claim on enemy territory and ensuring no one missed it.
Is you continue to take shots at her, and then when them shots get fired back, nobody likes it. We don't have no videos of Caitlin Clark really taking shots at Angel Reese. Look at what Angel Reese and Reebok are doing for views. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. This is promo they're doing in Indianapolis, where Caitlin Clark plays. That is a clear shot. It's a clear shot. Like I said, this is a fake rivalry. I think you've won one game versus Caitlin Clark. You've never won in Indiana at all. It's just like you continue to attach yourself to her at every turn and use her as promo.
Let's call it what it really was. Angel Reese saturated her socials with posts featuring slogans like, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap," even using a bankroll fresh track on her Instagram story to emphasize the message. But with Clark unable to play due to injury, the timing came off as suspicious to many. To a lot of fans, it looked like Reese was trying to score a win in a rivalry where the other side couldn't even show up. The internet didn't stay quiet. Sure, a few fans applauded the branding strategy, but many more were skeptical. Was this really the moment to go all in when Clark was clearly benched for medical reasons? Reactions ran the gamut, from memes and jokes to pointed criticism, with many labeling the move as opportunistic and ill-timed.
has never said a negative word about Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word, or like, to be honest, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, like, she did show it by her actions. Showed it by her actions. She didn't need to say, "I'm taking over Chicago." She did, though, however, go and put up 31 and 12, set a career high with 12 assists, be the only player in the history of the WNBA ever to have 31 and 12 in a game. She did, in fact, do that and then try to hype up the Chicago crowd. So it's like, fair enough, you want to say, oh, Caitlin Clark did this, then show it with your actions. Go and win MVP. Go and win MVP. Don't just be like, this is my city. Don't just come in and be like, this is my city. You've never won a game. Has she won a game in Indiana? I don't think she's ever won a game in Indiana.
What may have been intended as a bold, attention-grabbing brand move ended up looking like a victory dance in a competition that never happened. Promoting the idea of taking over your rival's city while they're injured doesn't exactly scream head-to-head competition. It reads more like seizing an easy opening under the guise of confidence. Analysts echoed what many fans already felt. This wasn't a rivalry, it was one-sided. While Reese was busy building her brand presence, Caitlin Clark was facing real basketball obstacles and focusing on recovery. But the biggest proof that the move didn't land, it's all right there in the numbers. Despite the backlash, Reese stood by her campaign, doubling down with even more content and public appearances. Her team released behind-the-scenes footage, exclusive interviews, and even hinted at future drops, all while critics continued to question the ethics and timing. The situation sparked mixed reactions. She's doing what any smart athlete would do, build the brand while the world's watching. I get it, but doing this while Clark's injured doesn't sit right. It's about timing. This could have been iconic if both were on the court. Now it just feels off. This wasn't confidence. It was calculated. No real competition here. Feels more like flexing in an empty arena than winning anything. Even some WNBA analysts chimed in. A rivalry means mutual presence. Right now, it's just one side promoting while the other recovers. The debate remains. Was this a fearless move by a rising star, or a misstep that unintentionally spotlighted how much the league still leans on one name? One thing's certain, in today's WNBA, every move, on or off the court, gets magnified. And in this case, the spotlight may have revealed more than Angel Reese intended.